Pooh Shiesty had just been released from prison early and dropped the hit record FDO that hit the streets hard, building up anticipation to his next album, making him one of the new faces to lead the next generation in hip-hop. Since 2020, he has been signed to Gucci Mane's label, the new 1017 Records. To fans, it looked like the beginning of a career run, but behind the music, Pooh allegedly felt he wasn't getting the money he deserved, and instead of seeking lawyers to negotiate a new deal, he had other plans to get out of his contract. Meanwhile, Gucci Mane was in a completely different chapter of life. No longer just a rapper, now a label owner, a husband with a family, a businessman who had spent years building an empire beyond the streets. And at the center of that empire was his biggest star, Pooh Shiesty, who had the streets on fire. One night, Gucci gets a call. Pooh Shiesty tells him, let's link for a meeting and some studio time together in Dallas, Texas. Gucci agrees and eventually boards a flight with his team, believing it's business as usual. But according to federal investigators, what was waiting for him wasn't a recording session. It was the beginning of one of the most shocking turn of events ever in hip-hop. And in this video, we break down everything that took place according to investigators and court documents. It's January 10th, 2026. Gucci Mane boards a flight heading to Dallas, Texas to meet with Pooh Shiesty. Once Gucci and his team arrive, they head straight to the recording studio. But once there, the studio isn't open yet. While waiting to kill time, they decide to leave and grab drinks from a nearby liquor store. Once they return, the studio finally opens up. Gucci and his team enters and settles in, while his two security guards wait outside. Then shortly after, Pooh Shiesty arrives. But he's not alone. Several men walk in behind him. But at that moment, nobody sees a problem. They're at a recording studio. Rappers bring entourages everywhere they go. It all seemed completely normal at first. They all gather around and dap each other up. Then, unexpectedly, Pooh's phone rings. It's his home confinement supervisor. At the time, Pooh was serving the remainder of his sentence on home confinement. What nobody inside that studio knew was that prosecutors would later allege Pooh and his case supervisor were romantically involved. During the call, she checks in on his whereabouts and quickly approves allowing him to remain out, and Pooh hangs up. Gucci overheard it and told him they can always reschedule if he needs to. Pooh says it's no problem. Instead, he asks Gucci if he could step into the recording booth and talk one-on-one, business only, and Gucci agrees. They enter the recording booth and Pooh's father follows in. People in the studio room can see Pooh and Gucci talking and assume it's a regular label head speaking business with their artists. But inside, the conversation starts getting heated. Allegedly, Pooh Shiesty tells Gucci he wants off his label and is not taking no for an answer, and tells his dad to pull out the paperwork. Out of his bag, he pulls out a contract, and in the document it reads, this will release him from his deal. Pooh tells Gucci to sign it, but he immediately refuses, instead trying to seek an understanding. Then, allegedly, Pooh tells his dad to go get the bag out of the car, and he quickly leaves the room, retrieves it, and quickly returns. Pooh Shiesty grabs the bag, reaches in, and pulls out a Draco. Everyone realizes this isn't a business meeting anymore, with Gucci now staring down the barrel of a gun. The room grows tense outside, with Gucci's team shocked by what they see. Concerned, one of them texts security outside about what's taking place, who quickly rushes to get in the studio. Back in the booth now, at gunpoint, Pooh demands Gucci again to sign a new contract that will release him from his label. At that moment, the situation spirals out of control. According to investigators, the rest of Pooh Shiesty's entourage also pulls out firearms and surrounds Gucci's two associates. In seconds, what started as a private business meeting turns into a full-scale armed robbery. One of Gucci's security approaches the door. Pooh's friend, rapper Big 30, notices him and immediately blocks it. The security can see through the door what's taking place with armed men inside, but they're badly outnumbered. If he forces his way in, a shootout could start, so instead, he hesitates, realizing this could escalate with someone getting killed, and chooses to stay outside and calls the cops. Back in the booth, forced at gunpoint, Gucci has signed the contract, ready to get this over with and leave, but Pooh has more plans. He tells Gucci now to remove all his jewelry, and Gucci's shocked and hesitant, but still at gunpoint. He gives it up, handing everything over. Pooh even tells him his wedding ring too. Back in the lounge, the robbery continues. The robbers take everything they can: jewelry, cash, personal belongings, and even a Gucci bag filled with expensive items and some cash. Surrounded by guns with no way to escape, Gucci's two associates begin wondering if they're about to be executed. But according to investigators, Pooh Shiesty still isn't done. He walks back into the lounge and calls Big 30 and another member of his crew over, hands over his Draco, ordering him to keep it aimed at Gucci and for Big 30 to grab a cell phone. Then in a hallway, according to prosecutors, Pooh instructs Big 30 to start recording. With the camera rolling, Gucci is directed to state that he is voluntarily releasing Pooh Shiesty from his record deal, and they make this video.
Shit, oh, what shit? You dropping this dumb.
Bro, let them know
It's a done deal, bro. It's a done deal.
Let them know you dropping me.
I drop you.
No, say it.
Pooh Shiesty dropped from 1017. Shout out to
Real nigga ain't never did no police shit or none of that, bro. Tell them what's going on.
Bro, we just did that. That's done.
What you do?
You dropped. You said you want to be dropped. You dropped.
Sign the paper.
I signed the paper. It's done.
Now, Pooh Shiesty has everything he came for, a signed contract and a recorded video. Within moments, he rushes out of the studio with his crew following. Gucci and his team are surprised and confused with what just happened. What was supposed to be a regular business meeting and celebration turned into a full-on robbery with cops now arriving at the scene, leaving Gucci in a lose-lose situation. For federal investigators, the case started to almost solve itself. According to prosecutors, Pooh Shiesty and his crew allegedly left behind a trail of evidence at nearly every turn. From fingerprints, surveillance footage, phone records, rental car records, Pooh's house arrest, electronic monitoring data, social media posts, and the recorded video. And piece by piece, investigators eventually built the case that led to federal kidnapping conspiracy charges against Pooh Shiesty and his crew. Then came the day nobody saw coming. On what appeared to be just another afternoon while enjoying the day, federal agents swarmed Pooh Shiesty's home, stormed inside, and took him, his father, Big 30, and everyone else into custody. But the story didn't end with the arrest. Gucci, grateful to make it out alive and back with his family, decided to take the business exec route to maintain his position, doubling down, dropping a song called Crash Dummy, a message many fans saw as him defending his decision to protect himself and his business. And that's where the debate begins. Some people see Gucci as a businessman protecting the empire he spent years building. Others see Pooh Shiesty as abiding to the street code, but might have possibly thrown his freedom away forever over a contract dispute that could have been handled through lawyers and negotiations. Because at its core, the story isn't just about contracts or robbery allegations. It's about what happens when street culture collides with business. One side says Gucci did what a smart executive would do, and the others say the streets have their own rules. So what do you think? Was Gucci made right to protect everything he built, or should he have accepted the loss and stayed silent after everything? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe, and after, hype this video if you can, which will really help and support the channel. And as always, thank you for the support.